What's going on, guys? It's your man, Big Veg. You know what time it is, man. We here. We in the building, man. I tell you, man, I'm on this grind no matter the situation with the COVID and all that, but we here. I'm here with the man, DJ Hotrod. How you, brother?
I'm good. And yourself, brother, Veg?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed to be here. Crazy things happened today, but we still made it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad to see you made it out. I was excited to see you walk through the door, man. Word up.
That's what it is. So, real quick, so you know that this is basically for my Rockarazzi memoir series. So, we're going to be tapping into the past, present, and future of your career.
Okay.
So, you know, I like to tell the story, you know, because everybody has a story. And I'm sure you've had a long path up to now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And trials and tribulations, and, of course, the wins, the losses. We're going to inspire some people today.
That's good to know. That's good to hear. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for.
That's what it is. So, first, before we get into it, if there's anybody checking us out right now and they're not familiar with who they're looking at, why don't you tell them a little bit intro on who DJ Hotrod is?
Okay. Well, I'm DJ Hotrod. I'm a DJ. I originally was an artist in art and design out here in New York City.
So an artiste.
That's correct. Like, I'm sensitive about my, you know what I'm saying? But definitely an artist. My dad taught me how to DJ from the age of about 11. I want to say I got my first turntables when I was 13. Oh, wow. I started DJing like professionally at the age of 16.
What kind of turntables you got?
1200s of techniques.
Okay.
I only had, like, you know, the old double records that he had in the beginning to start with, because I come from the vinyl era. Maybe I was there.
The crates era.
Yeah, the crates.
Digging in the crates.
Those 60-pound crates everywhere we go. And I was known to carry the crates with him, and he took me out to the clubs, venues, and I got my shot to, you know, do the mix when he ran to the restroom, or, you know, small things of that nature.
Little quick 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely falling asleep, wake me up, and then I got to pick up crates again because I can't stay up for the whole party. But I really appreciated those nights. I seen, you know, all kinds of change in hip-hop, music, what people party to. I know classic dance party stuff from before my time, because being around that older generation, learning on the fly. And that's pretty much it. But now the future present is a little different. But we're going to get into that, you know, definitely.
That's what it is. So you said you start off as an artist. Yes. So how'd you get into that? Like, how'd you fall into being, I guess, we can say an artiste, so we don't get anybody.
All right, so I realized at the age of 7, 9 years old that I could draw anything by sight. I mean, like official tissue. And I basically played instruments as a kid, violin. I tried other things, but the violin was my thing. I really like that. I like that. The drums was a little bit much for me. I'm not really good with coordination. But
that violin, you get busy.
The violin was very good for me because it was a string instrument. I was able to play the melody, hit the keys, and that's when I understood that I could take those talents to the music, as far as, you know, matching beats, pace, tempo, all of those things.
Beats per minute and all that.
Yeah, have to know how to play in between the lines. Exactly. And so with that and performance, I was always a performer for my whole life. I used to know how to dance at a certain point in my life. I lost that, you know what I mean? But, you know, now everything is with my hands and using my sense of hearing, and that's pretty much what I mean. But as far as being an artist, I feel like being a DJ is an artist too.
Right, of course, because you still mixing, you still, you know,
it's still performing.
It's an art form.
It's
we could call it turntablism.
That's correct. Turntable is definitely an instrument. I don't want people to get that misconstrued. I know nowadays we change from, vinyl to CDs to, MP3s now to, straight everything on the computer and you're able to pull it up. But when you are mixing music, live mixing, you are a composer. You're no longer, just the sound guy. You know what I mean? There's an art form. There's an art form to DJing, and it's definitely the mixer or whatever MIDI controller you're using is your instrument to interact with the crowd and change tempo, melody, vibes, and everything, So I want to consider what I do still our art form, even though we're not considered artists, but I feel that DJs are artists as well.
Now you told us a little bit of how you first got into DJing. But give us a little bit more, like what influenced you? Like, what was that? I guess you said your father was in the game, right? Or
that's correct. My dad was in the game. He went by Diablo Crew. He had a partner, which was my godfather, best friends. They had a sound called Diablo. They had the nice speakers, and he was blessed to have a decent job to make sure that he was able to provide the ample sound for events. And he had first. I had to get the play school equipment. Nobody's going to spend top dollar for me to bust stuff up and break things down. Right. But moving along the line.
There's levels to this.
Oh, definitely. Definitely levels to it. The $100 DJ setup. Right. And the $2,000 DJ setup. And I want to spring right into that and becoming the neighborhood DJ who had equipment and people knew I had a sound because they can hear me doing my own parties where I was doing $1 parties, and it might be a crackhead or a fiend or whoever somebody needed a couple of dollars and they had an empty apartment with no furniture. That was my spots at first. And
this is the come up.
That's the come up. That's when I knew I could charge people $1 to get in. I get 100, 200 kids in rotation in that apartment. And that's a couple $100 for me. I wanted to wear fly kicks, and I wanted to, have certain things.
You wanted to be cool.
I also had to buy those expensive records. I mean, if I'm gonna do parties every month, I need to at least make a couple dollars to make sure I have the material to provide. It was
the newest singles, the newest joints.
There was no cell phones, no download digital, none of that.
This is before MP3s, before before Napster.
Yeah, this is when 50 Cent dropped his album. You had to be in the store to cop it before, to go buy it. And the other bigger DJs would get the nod over me, like, oh no, I'm holding this one for Funk Flex, or I'm holding this one for Mr. C. Oh, you can't have this, or they need doubles, so you can't get one because they need two, so they can go back and forth. These are the things that I had to go through, which inspired me to say, damn, well, what is the difference between this brother and me, because we're doing the same thing. I hone the same skills, but what is the level that I gotta be, and how did they get into position to command that type of attention and respect from the store owners and the record labels and stuff like that. And that was when I realized this is gonna be an uphill battle from here.
The hurdles are coming.
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. So, like I said, I went from DJing in the projects to on top of in somebody's kitchen, and to I raised enough money to throw an event at the centers and having the centers popping. And my age crowd was people that I was growing up with, and I also knew how to play for the older crowd because of what I was exposed to from my dad. So
you was diverse.
I was diverse early because I had the older following, and I also had my following. Now, what transitioned was getting the bigger venues. Now I'm going to the city. I'm watching the other bigger DJs. I'm opening for Funk Flex. I'm moving into the clubs, and I'm still at the age of 18, 19, not even 20 years old at this time. So that's when the game changed a little bit, because then it's like I'm doing parties and I'm stuck. I got stuck at a certain point in DJing for a crowd that was under 21 for a while, and it was hard to cut them off because everything was 21 and over, and I wouldn't be successful if I'm 19, 20. Right. Half of my crowd can't come to the venue now because of the age. Right. And I'm not looked upon as the grown folks, best DJ, because we're, half of my crowd is underage, Right. So
it's a lot.
That was a growing pain for me, definitely.
I hear you. Let's talk about your name, DJ Hotrod. Was that the first DJ name that you had, or did you go through a couple?
I had three names. My real name is Sherrod, so I had DJ Rod at first, and that was kind of dry. And then I used to play a lot of R&B, and I had got stuck in that R&B, starting up the party vibe with classic '90s R&B smooth stuff to get the girls singing. Because when women are in a party first, and they ladies free before 12, you gotta entertain them. You can't worry about the thugs and the gangsters. They didn't get to the party yet. So I was more of an R&B DJ, and my people was like, yo, you really kill that R&B blends and, mixing the music. And so they said, you should be DJ Raw Love, because you play all that love music. You don't play no real hot stuff. So I said, DJ Raw Love, that sound cool. I seen DJ Ike Love and all these other guys. I'm like, that you good there, brother. It's all right. So just the other one, but at the same time, that was my thing, and I went with Rod Love for a while, and then he was like, Rod Love, like, no, you're getting bigger and better, you're getting hotter at this. You be always sweating when you DJing. Your name should be DJ Hotrod. That's a good name for you. You get the parties hot. You always sweating. And you play the hot songs. I like what you do. And I said, you know what? Maybe I'll switch it one last time. And I went to Hot Rod, definitely.
So you didn't go to your P. Diddy phase, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy.
Nah.
Just three.
Just those three. That's all I needed. And at this time in my life, I'm possibly looking to change it one more time. Really? Possibly. Okay. Because there's a lot of other hot rods out here.
Just trying to stand out.
No disrespect to anybody. I love everybody and what they do. However, I am unique at what I do, and they are too. Right. But I don't.
But you do what you do.
I don't want nobody to ever
confusion.
No, because there's been problems with deals, and you got this specific deal because they thought I was you, or you get the girls that want to go to the strip parties because I do those type of parties, and I'm just like, listen, man. We all do the same thing, and it's enough money for everybody to eat. Unfortunately, we just have the same name, but at the same time, I want you to do what you do, and I want to do what I do. So there might have to be another thing that has to happen to separate me from the rest of the DJ Hot Rod pack, Got
you. So in the present, we're obviously dealing with a lot of this, the pandemic. We got the coronavirus going on. Like, what are you doing now, I guess, to stay relevant? And to, basically stay doing your thing as DJ Hot Rod.
All right. Well, for the first month, I did absolutely nothing. I just sat and thought and pouted like everybody else did in the world. Right. And then I realized, I said, you know what? I can't play these records in a club. I can't, break my artists. And I've grown to have a certain following of artists because when it was time to go to the clubs, I was lighting up. I was lighting up the regular clubs. Right. I was also, getting looked at to DJ at strip clubs because people like the way I DJ. It had nothing to do with the personality or all this stuff. It just, I play music well. I understand what goes next to what. I know how to create a vibe with the material that the people want. So when it was time for the strip clubs, those was like Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Wednesday nights, like Hot Rod. We want to put you on a party, but you got to bring people. I'm like, who am I bringing outside that works a regular day job like me? Because now I'm, I'm 30 years old, and I'm like, my people ain't coming out during a weekday. They got kids and responsibilities. I said, well, who would come out to the club and support at this time? Oh, this guy does music. Where you at? I'm in the studio. It's a Tuesday night, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, these guys are out doing stuff at this time. I was like, this would be the perfect people to come out because they're going to come outside with a purpose. They're coming outside to hear their record played in the club. Artists are spending a lot of money at studios to make music that no one's listening to. Even when they load it up, it's like not a guarantee that their best friend is going to listen or share it or anything. So how can we bring light to the situation? And I said, you know what? Let me invite a couple of artists out, explain to them what the promoter might want, explain to them that I'm going to take care of them as far as making sure their music's played as long as they abide by specific guidelines that's going to make beneficial for everybody. And that's when the body of Hot Rod being the artist, the DJ who's breaking artists, became a thing. Now, people always told me, and I always watched the new mixtapes with DJ Clue, with, DJ Envy. These guys, they always had the artist material early, and they always worked on building the artist brand. And it might be their artist, maybe not, but these artists that picked up and moved, it came because a DJ found time to put energy behind it. Now,
break them, yeah.
I didn't understand the business about it. Like, why are you going so hard to break something that we don't know about? until I realized that this is a real legitimate business. This guy's making extra ends to spend time to build up this specific artist brand. And that's when things went to the next level for me.
There you go.
I understood that creating a platform of my own where people can either perform, get their music on mixtapes,
Or even just during your mixes.
or just during my live mixes when I'm out and breaking songs was something. Now it's become the thing where the next DJ comes in, you already know the top 20 songs he's going to play during his DJ set. But mine is always different. I was a DJ looked at like, oh, here's Hotrod. He's going to play mad unsigned artists for an hour. And, you know, we don't like it, but the promoters can't stop it because now the machine is going. First of all, you want those 20 artists and their people to turn around and leave? Or should I just take care of them and play their records and let's enjoy our night together? And that's where we are now. But for me, I want to keep building with like music, as far as music, having music festivals and things of that nature, where you know we can go out, have artists, entertainers, and create our own lane. Because it's definitely a big network out here, and I want to help. You know, I've helped people like Nicki Minaj. I've helped people like the DJ Web Stars. I help people like Fetty Waps and A Boogies, and the list goes on to the artists that I've met humbly during, you know, the start of their career when they had a single and they had to get out and say, hey, can you play my song? And first time they performing, and but right before they sign a big deal, these certain people coming across my path. And as a DJ, I'm doing the same job as the other larger DJs with a bigger name, but I do realize that every artist does need DJs to catapult their career. You know,
Basically bring it to the next level.
correct though. So now the business has changed. I'm never gonna lose my love or for DJing in a club or doing private parties and events because the knowledge and know-how has been there from the very beginning. However, I do see the road looking a lot greener as far as becoming, you know, like the next DJ Khaled, like DJ who now I have 2 studios with recording area, digital media area. I got an office. I got people are reaching out to me that, you know, from organization with 6,000 other DJs, MP3 Wax.
So you got people reaching out to you to make business moves, basically.
Yeah, big business moves. Bel Air. Big shout to Street Life Management. Shout to TTW. These guys, we're moving around. We got, you know, situations out in Vegas, you know, Atlanta, Texas, Florida. The biggest move I've made was with my own team, Party Worldwide, and I was basically going to Costa Rica just for a vacation. I know the DJ that's in there DJing because he DJs in the city, but that
turned into a situation.
It definitely turned into a situation. Now it's like, okay, get on for a minute. This guy's from New York. He's a great DJ. Tore the place up. Now I come back, I pack the place out every time because they know the name Hotrod is coming to town from New York City, and people love to see a talent from New York that's a standout.
What's on the horizon for your career? You know what I'm saying?
What I'm looking at in the future and what's about to happen is this world tour, where it's gonna be a world tour, not just, you know, state to state is already pretty much done. I didn't X'd off all the places that are on the schedule.
So we going overseas with it?
We got no choice. I've been working with my team to take an event overseas for a while, and it's gonna change my life. It's gonna change the life of others because it's not gonna take a lot of funds to do it. It's gonna take a lot of will, power, and know-how. You understand?
And determination as well.
Of course, and you gotta have the collective. You know, as people have to be like minds to get it done. I mean, coming out of quarantine is one of the best times to do it. Once the gates open, I'm sure a lot of artists are hungry to go out and perform. Especially
game time.
Especially with the world facing this pandemic. People want to come back outside and they want to do things for maybe lesser than what they normally do it because they owe it to the people for not hitting stages and not following through with concerts and shows. So I feel like it's only right to put together nice music festivals worldwide, globally, that will have entertainers from new artists all the way into the bigger acts in the evening and what everybody would pay for. So the crowds would come in droves to see the newest artists get their time to shine from early. And as the night progresses, the lineup gets heavier and enhances. It might go
Headliners and all.
correct. You want to go from the newest and understand this is going to be very big because the night is going to shift from the newest, youngest artists to some 90s classic artists because you want that old crowd in there in the middle of the day.
Old school artists, shout out to them. That's because they paved the way for us to be here, right?
Correct. And then you got, as the night progresses, you also want to get the new local guys that are doing their thing, you know, and the people that's at the cusp of making it happen to open up for that main event artist that comes out. And that's gonna be pretty much the concept behind it. I definitely want to have entertainers there though. I know dances from the New Jersey, well now Brooklyn Nets. I know dances from the New York Knicks. Choreography. I want artists to come out and perform and put on a show, not just get up on the stage with a microphone and rap. I want to put together a show.
People could be like, oh wow, you want to cause the wow factor.
Yeah, that's correct. And I want to bridge the gap with the music as well. Like I want to have R&B segment, Caribbean segment, international segment.
You want to give everybody a sound that they could rock to, they could dance to, they could just vibe to.
Listen, as long as you lay it out, the pieces will fall where they belong.
That's what it is. Last thing, I mean, you've been doing this for a while as far as this whole career. There's a lot of people that are watching this that are trying to get to maybe your spot. They're trying to become a DJ. They're trying to get into the game. Why don't you get some advice to those that might be struggling just to get on? You know what I'm saying?
The best advice that I could give someone trying to become a DJ and get on is relationships. Very key.
Networking.
Got to be able to network, and you got to understand that when you come into a situation, it has to be a two-way street. There's no one-ways. If I'm coming out to DJ, I want to DJ, I want to get paid, this is not going to work out for you, okay? Sometimes you have to understand that, yes, that is the business factor of it, but sometimes you need to bring something to the table first to make someone select you, to be the person, okay? Not saying, yo, that's my homeboy put me on. I'm saying, hey, I see you doing an event. What I could do is, this is what I have. I have my Instagram. I can market here. I can do this and that. And you have to increase someone else's situation. I want to say situation because it could be a private party. It could be a kid party. They might need, a videographer, photographer. They might need a bounce house. They might need other things. Use your business and your network to build your value. What you can do musically, most people can do on their YouTube or with a simple mix now. But you have to bring something to the table besides just the music as a DJ.
That makes you look. Well, that makes you unique.
It makes you unique. Make sure it's something that you like. Make sure that it's something that you're good at that can enhance your value as a DJ. Because the skills are very simple and easy the way things are. Simple, press play, go, say something, drop. It's simple. That's fine. But understanding the concepts of what people really want, what they need, and sometimes you have to even give them something that they're not ready for, just so they can remember you. So whatever.
Again, so you stand out.
Whatever that might be. Like, for example, the same thing I've done today, going live during quarantine. It turned into a big machine of a whole bunch of other radio stations and opportunity because through a tough time, I made a good thing out of it by simply playing artist music, and my songs that I'm playing were nothing like anybody else's live sound like. Why? Because I'm playing stuff you would probably never ever hear, and I was open to the fact that you would say, oh, Hotrod's playing unsigned music. This song is whack or this song is good. But to be honest with you, that's what people live for. They live for their own opinion, okay? Understand what I'm saying? Once again, if someone is watching a show, program, what's the first thing they ask you? You went to the movies? Guess what? How was it?
Right.
Okay?
What's your rating?
Correct. How you make people feel is key with DJing. So please understand, if you want to be a great DJ, make sure that you make people leave in a better mood than what they came in. If they come into a venue or a party and they feel like, damn, I don't want to be here or I should go home, the DJ's whack, then you're doing.
You failed.
You did a horrible job.
You want to cause impact.
You should make people come to a hot ass room that nobody wants to be in, but like, damn, it's hot in here. But the DJ's rocking. Let me get a drink and try to cope with the situation because
I'm gonna deal with it.
I'm gonna go outside and get some air and come back. You need that. If that ain't happening, then you ain't slapping.
I hear that. That's what it is. Last thing, tell them where they can follow you, where they can book you. Give us all the handles and all that.
All right. So once again, if you're tuned in and you want to get in tune with DJ Hotrod, I'm on Instagram at DJ Hotrod, just like that. A lot of DJ Hotrods don't like that, but DJ Hotrod, no underscores, none of that funny stuff. Just the main guy, okay?
No ebonics either.
Exactly. So, no zeros and none.
Zeros,
Look,
no O's, no.
Hot Rod, DJ Hotrod on the IG, and also don't remember you can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, The Real DJ Hotrod, The Real DJ Hotrod on IG. I have Instagram. I have email. You can email me. Feel free to email me at inhotwetrust@gmail. I'm on this Party Worldwide thing, inhotwetrust.com. I got all the events, everything you need. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon in the future. Until next time,
That's what it is. And any last words?
I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity today. I really appreciate it because I know we met in the field.
Right. If people don't know, I ran across DJ Hotrod while he was doing his thing during his events. Shout out to the young queen, Miss Angelica.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
XO, my girl. And shout out to mom and her family and her management team. Another thing, hey, make sure you got somebody strong that knows a little bit about what's going on when you're doing business. Sometimes people could Jew you down. You feel me? And you might find yourself
crazy business
working so hard for something that is you don't feel it's worth it. Right. That could potentially damage your moral. You want to keep your morale up. You feel me? So don't get used up. Don't get chewed up. Choose to play for the low. Choose to do something because you feel like that's the right thing to do. If you don't ever take a job that you don't want, please. It shows. People can feel it. And vibes is out there. Energy, keep energy good. Stay safe. Wash those hands until we get out of this pandemic. And Hot We Trust the World. Ask your girl.